to astronomy. Thank you so much to the history of science, which has allowed astronomy to evolve and flourish to the point where we can now do amazing observations into this universe, this galaxy, and beyond. In fact, just over 100 years ago is when we started to discover many, many, many more galaxies than our own, and Hubble is the one who helped us with that. We have also spent time talking about various galaxies and various galaxy classifications, especially based on their shape, which gives us spiral galaxies, elliptical galaxies, and irregular galaxies. We've also talked about active galaxies in recent lives. So if you're interested in any of that, you should definitely check out those particular live episodes. Hopefully I've named them something that is kind of indicative of what is covered in the live, but sometimes indeed the live streams kind of evolve on their own and have mind of their own, depending on the audience and the type of conversations and discussions that we're having. Today I'm determined to talk at least a little bit about trans-Neptunian objects. We have covered all of the planets, of course, the rocky planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars that are closest to the sun, and also we have covered the Jovian planets. These are the Jupiter-like planets, so Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. These are much bigger. The compositions of them are quite different, and we have covered them in a lot of detail, including their moons. We have talked a lot about the moons of these planets as well. Today, it will be interesting to see what we mean by trans-Neptunian objects and what specific things there are to learn about them. And of course, as you know, some people's favorite planet, Pluto, is actually been demoted to a dwarf planet now, so it's no longer a planet, but a dwarf planet, and that will also appear as a character today on today's live episode. So thank you so much once again for being here. Welcome to the live, and we will now get started. So again, we know, so just to give you some scale, we on Earth are from 1 astronomical units from the sun. So the distance between the Earth and the sun is 1 astronomical units. That distance is basically given that definition. 1 astronomical unit is the definition of that distance between Earth and sun. Jupiter is at around 5.2 astronomical units from the sun. It's the biggest, most massive planet in the solar system, and it's at sort of the middle of the solar system. So it's 5 times farther away than us from the sun. And then Neptune is at a little over 30 astronomical units from the sun. So what we mean by trans-Neptunian objects is the solar system has even more sort of objects in it that we will now take a look at. And these are going to be orbiting the sun at an orbit that is much larger than even the orbit of Neptune, which is a pretty big orbit. It's at 30 astronomical units, so you can imagine that's quite far away. So that's what we'll take a look at today. Are you Patrick? Because I can be your star. Patrick. Not sure what that means. Thank you once again, everybody, for being here. We will now continue the trans-Neptunian objects topic. So one more time, a trans-Neptunian object, or TNO, can be broadly defined as any object orbiting the sun on an orbit larger than the orbit of Neptune, which is at 30 astronomical units from the sun. Thank you for liking the live, by the way. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it if you could like the live. Could we get 20 likes? Thank you. Ever since the discovery of Neptune in 1846, so as you know, as we've kind of gone over in the past as well, the discovery of all the different planets did not happen all at the same time. As astronomy has kind of evolved and we've made strides in observation, we have come across more and more things. So Neptune was discovered in 1846. Astronomers since then have looked for trans-Neptunian. So once you find Neptune at a distance of 30 astronomical units from the sun, which is so far away than, for example, where we are from the sun, of course you'd be curious to know, well, are there more? In the early 20th century, the astronomer Percival Lowell instituted a search for Planet X. So kind of like SpaceX, but in this case, Planet X, using the facilities of his private observatory in Flagstaff, Arizona. It was realized that a planet farther away than Neptune would be faint and would not necessarily be resolved